Oh my gosh, session 2 of day 7 of the 12 Days of Amplify. So excited to be here today with some of my favorite people. We're going to start by talking to Miss Harriet Reynolds. Hello, Harriet. How are you?
Hello. Oh, I am great. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so excited. I mean, when I said in the Amplify group, hey, does anyone want to talk, do a live stream, share some wins and successes? I feel like a lot of musicians are kind of like down in the dumps and still blaming COVID and kind of feeling like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, does anyone want to share? And it's like 20, like in minutes, people being like, me. So the 12 days went to the 12 days times 2 or 3 sessions a day times let's get a couple people on a session. It's wonderful. It made my heart sing because I just know that there's a lot of positivity, and I think it's time to spread it outside of Amplify. So
absolutely. It's so funny. I'll just be on my phone or whatever. It's like Cheryl's live. It's like Cheryl was just live. Cheryl's live. How many hours a day?
I know. I was thinking, next time I decide I need to change clothes every day for 12 days. Like normally I'm like, oh, I'll have like our Amplify call once a week or maybe even twice. But now I'm like, wait, I can't wear that sweatshirt I wore yesterday in the live. Wait, I have to put makeup on every day for 12 days. Whose idea was this? A terrible idea. No, it's been so fun, and I'm learning so much about people just hearing the wins. So let's start with you. Where are you in the world? And then share what you've got going on. What's the nutshell snapshot picture of Harriet?
Geographically, I'm in Austin, Texas, which is my primary home base. And gosh, I guess since you and I have really talked much, I have started my new recording project. I found a producer in Austin because actually through an Amplify person whom I really don't know very well. And it's crazy. That's the network power here. It's just awesome. Because my producer in Nashville retired. A studio that I've used here in Austin is pretty much still closed because of COVID. And I was like, what am I going to do? I've got to record this stuff. I'm not going to do a whole home studio, although I would kind of like to. And I looked at a lyric video that someone in Amplify had. And again, I don't know her very well. And I thought the video was really great. And at the end, it said who the producer was. I'm like, wow, that woman's in Austin. So I contacted her. I said, hey, we met one time at a gig. And I said, you don't remember me, but you're doing this for another gal in a networking group I'm in. And she said, oh, send me your stuff. I'd love to work with you. So it has been awesome, but it's remote, which is a new thing for me. And so I said, look, what do I buy? What do I do? And, I had a few glitches initially, but I am almost 100% sure I would not be doing this if it weren't for Amplify.
Aww.
I mean, seriously.
It's so funny that you're like remote is a new thing for you, but you're one of the people that has been doing a live stream show successfully for ages.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah. But before I talk to you about that, Jeb just said, don't mess with Texas. But also, Jeb, are you going to be on this call? Because there's a link in the group to how to get in here. So join us if you want, or just watch. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me. I'll keep Harriet to myself.
Come on.
So hopefully Jeb will join us.
Okay,
the link I tagged you in the link, Jeb, there. Cool. But yeah, so tell us about your live streams, because you've been doing this. You just tell, because it's extraordinary.
I don't know how extraordinary. Well, there's another Amplify thing. I mean, seriously, if it weren't for, Catherine Mahler was my first little pair up cross promotion friend, the wonderful Celtic and classical fiddler that just extraordinaire.
She's amazing.
And she's amazing. And, when I started thinking about doing live streams, I just sent her a note and I said, tell me how you do it. And she had used a lot of tech stuff. And she said, frankly, I sort of threw it out the window and I'm just going straight into my iPhone. I thought, well, I can do that. And I guess I've been doing it almost 9 months. I started in April. It was very close to when we started going every day.
Yeah, which was just in March. And I've been saying that I feel like March we kind of assessed, and I was like, let's just meet every day. Like people are dealing with all sorts of stuff. And then kind of immediately people started pivoting. And you're one of those people that comes to mind right away when I'm like, who are my amplifiers that were like, let's do something new. You hadn't done live streams before. You were like, tech, what? I don't know. And you've been going, tell me how 9 months consistently, what is it? Once a month?
I just did. Yeah. No, every week, every Tuesday, I have Harriet's happy hour at 5 Central. And as of this past Tuesday, I did my 30th show. And
that's like amazing to do 30 shows in 9 months from a complete pivot. Yeah. And first of all, I love the alliteration, Harriet's happy hour. Like I could say that 10 times. I'm going to say that all night long. I just love it so much. And what has happened? Like, what have you seen happen over these 30 shows? Are you going on to get people to know you, or is your audience growing? Are you asking for tips? Tell me how you structure your lives.
Sure. It is growing. It's tapered off a little bit in the winter. I think, more people have gone to work. When we first started, I mean, those of us that started early in this thing, we had captive audiences. People were home all the time. And so, it was really awesome. But I have you back to your tip question. I don't push it. But I have, my PayPal, my Venmo, I put it in the description. I have a super fan down in Houston who likes to come on, and whenever I say something about merch, she pops up my merch store link. Or whenever I say, be sure you're on my email list because I'm doing blah, 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 blah. And then she pops it up there. So, yeah, it's really been great. She
Amazing.
She pops things up all the time for me. And I have, I've asked people to share with friends, especially early on. And I've gotten quite a few new fans from those. They don't all stick, but and I have a group of probably 100 or 200 regulars that are on like every week. I mean, they're asking if they get perfect attendance prizes. I mean, and I've done giveaways.
Oh my
I've learned so much from you. I've done giveaways. I've gained on my merch store, and then I started making some merch that says Harriet's happy hour. So,
well, that's the thing the other thing that you had before COVID was a really well done merch store that was really working for you, which is so cool. So to be able to kind of combine those, like this old system, old meaning you had done it before COVID and had that in place. Right. And then to be able to say, all right, I'm going to try this new thing going live weekly and bring the merch in. How have sales shifted for you for the merch because of that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm certainly not doing shameless promotion here, although I'm not above it. But here's a Harriet's Happy Hour wine tumbler and water glass. I have 20-ounce ones, and people buy these things. And then I have some more that it's a song lyric merch store. So that's not a song lyric, obviously.
No, but I love that. I mean, you have to have the wine cooler glass for Harriet's Happy Hour.
That's right.
Makes a lot of sense.
People have bought the shirts, Harriet's Happy Hour. They send me pictures. Look, I've got your happy hour shirt on. So yes, it has. Now it's not exponential. I don't want to, build it up to be something it's not, but it is growing steadily. And I'm really happy to have it because, I believe in everything that I'm putting out there on the song lyrics, pillows, mugs, whatever. And, it's been a steady stream. I'd like to see it increase, but, I think the live shows have kind of helped me pull everything together. Because I now have what I was doing live last year. 2019 was a great year for me live. I played the Bluebird in Nashville. I played a great show in New Jersey area. It was just a fantastic concert, and really all over the place, and then nothing. So this has been a great sort of rescue thing for me.
Isn't that so funny? This is the year where a lot of other people are saying, "Oh, I'm barely surviving," and it's actually the year where you're like, "And now my merch is thriving." Like,
I know it's a little. Sometimes I feel a little bit of that Southern woman guilt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I know. I get that, and I think as a group in Amplify, we did that pivot really fast. We were able to identify. We were able to work through a lot of the really tough stuff in conversations that are still ongoing. But in the beginning of the summer around George Floyd's death, like we all got real vulnerable real fast. And I think that is just a testament to the members of this group. It's really extraordinary. And once you can kind of like break down the stuff, you can build back, and I think that, people were trying to hold on to how it used to be and weren't allowing them to just I don't know, breakdown isn't the right word, but you know what I mean? I think that we kind of went through the process and were able to come out on the other side as a unit together, and everyone's doing different things, like releasing music, merch, licensing, focusing on composing, producing other stuff, with all the personal stuff going on as well. But the thing that I'm really hearing, this is like what, 10 sessions into these, 12 days of Amplify, is that the growth is present. And I'm hearing a lot, but it's not as much as I want. It's not as fast as I want. But I think we were sort of training ourselves to like get results, take actions, like in spite of feelings, circumstances, other stuff that's happening out there in the world. So when you say you've got growth in your audience, I mean, 100 to 200 regular people showing up to your live shows live, like that's extraordinary. Having growth in a merch store is extraordinary. And I'm excited to hear this. I know that people are going to be like, all right, now I got to see this merch. Where we want to know the merch store, but I also want to know, if that's not the number one thing you want to send people to, where do you want to send people? So tell us the merch. How do we get to the merch store?
The merch store is harrietreynoldsmusic.com, and the site is harrietreynolds.com. You can get there either way. You could go to one and get to the other.
Sure.
And yeah, for sure.
So Harriet Reynolds, REYNOLDS music.com. If you're listening to this, not watching it. And you can go find the merch store there. Mm-hmm. And Jeb is saying, I know growth. Jeb, why are you still on the chat? You have to come into StreamYard to be on this interview. If not, we will schedule you for another time. Come find us, Jeb, on the interwebs. So what I've been doing is I've been giving very clear assignments. You know me, I like a good actionable next step. I love it when someone just tells me what to do and I'm like, yes, I'll do that. So I've been doing that for our listeners and our watchers here. Okay. So if you're a musician and you're like, oh, Amplify, what's that? If you're just coming out from underneath the rock, you can get into it. There's the link below. And if you're a musician, or if you're not a musician, you're going to next go to harrietreynoldsmusic.com and you're going to go purchase something on the merch store. That's your assignment. Oh my God. I mean, there's some beautiful things. They have such positive messages there. You are a catalyst for change. So it's so like, I'm just so excited for you. Yeah. So Rob, let's see. Jeb said he uses the link. Jeb, I just tagged you in a post like a half hour ago. Use the link that I tagged you in. So there you go. So everyone clear on your marching orders for Harriet Reynolds. We're gonna go listen to the music. We're gonna go to the live show, but you're taking a little hiatus so that you can actually like have a holiday from the live show. What? A break?
What?
We don't do breaks here. No, you're taking self-care and rest is a huge part of being able to have a growth career that's consistent and not just like burst, peak, fall, burst. We don't want the burst. We want the consistent growth, the balanced lifestyle. So I'm a big fan of rest. We have implementation weeks where we don't meet and it's just kind of cranking mode for an Amplify. And sometimes it's like, hey, is this your rest week? Because that's also okay. Are you implementing rest? So you're taking a little break. So if you go to try to find a live show and you're not seeing it, it might be because Harriet is resting, which is great. But in the meantime, you're going to go to the merch store and you're going to get a piece of merch because we are being awesome fans. That's what we're learning here. So, oh my gosh, we have another member of Amplify who's coming in and we're sharing we're sharing good news here. We're sharing what's possible, wins from the independent musician community that have been hidden from the general musician community where everyone's blaming COVID for no gigs and all the things. So I wanted to shift that conversation. And I know a couple independent musicians in this group that happen to be kicking butt. So here they are. So we're going to bring Jeb on. I'm going to try to do the 3-person.
Oh, here he is.
Jeb. Hey, guys. I love what you're talking about with growth because I've experienced some growth myself this year.
Right up there on the top.
Jeb, you've got some hair growth going on. Can you turn yourself up a tiny little bit, Jeb?
Yeah. How about now? Now better?
Hello? I don't know. You're not talking.
Hello. Yeah?
A little bit.
A little bit more? Here we go. Coming up.
There you go.
Bring it up.
Too much. Too much.
Well, this little scarlet thing is really
Nope.
Temperamental.
There you go. Right
Yeah?
there.
Better? Okay, go.
Stay nice
No,
and focused.
hey.
Okay, so normally Jeb does not have this much hair. If you're watching, if you're listening, just imagine Mr. Jeb Caldwell, welcome, by the way, with less hair. Now there you go. So you were talking about growth because of the hair or because of Harriet's amazing growth?
I think this year, Harriet's amazing growth, and I think everybody in this group has reached new heights since the beginning of it, and I think it's so cool because it's like I think Amplify is a little bit like or anything that Cheryl you lead is kind of like this like virtual playground, which is all we get to do this time during the pandemic, and we're really lucky to have it because on a playground we're able to sort of let our guard down, to sort of party a little bit, and feel a lot less stressed about where we are and accepting where we are.
Yeah, like owning that. I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of play, in our next call, we're gonna like be actually playing a game on this app that I found and I'm obsessed with called Kahoot that I did with a choral group. And I was like, I need to bring this to Amplify. It's basically a trivia game, but I've come up with all the questions and they're awesome. It's only taking me way more time than I'm willing to admit to create it, but it's so everybody better show up. No, it's gonna be amazing. But Jeb, when you say new heights, what I know you've moved during the pandemic, like you've had a lot of stuff going on this year, but you're also like, what are your new heights? Tell us about the Jeb Caldwell that we don't know.
Well, it's all culminating in the all the stuff that I started this year, thanks to you and everyone in this group, all the challenges. I found that I've maybe bit off a little bit more than I could chew. I'm doing it, but it's required a focus for me that's unique, and the day, it's easy for the days to kind of roll and meld into one. So like creating a structure, being able to meet at certain times with you guys and doing this is really great. The check-ins, checking in with my power pod. We have 2 calls a week.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, we're pretty ambitious, right, Harriet?
That's right.
Oh, you guys are. That's right. You're in the same hub. I love that.
We are a support group.
Oh my God! Everyone that's been on this thing, this is day 7, has talked about their Power Up pod. And for anyone that's just tuning in or listening, that's basically a small accountability group created within Amplify. You're given structures and ways to create it, but essentially you create what you need. So some people meet once a month for 2 hours, a work session. Other people meet twice a week for accountability. So it's really, what does the group need? And I did not know that you met twice a week. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Scandalous. But I think the thing that like right now, so I'm actually, one of the things I have on my plate tonight is I have my my 10th anniversary live TV special where I'm tonight at 11 o'clock on StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard to stream to Facebook and YouTube if I can get the YouTube verification in time, but definitely on my Facebook page. My ex-bandmate, well, current bandmate, but he lives in Tucson. He and I are meeting together on StreamYard to do a song swap and celebrating a record which came out 10 years ago entitled "Hunker Down," which is really apropos. Yeah, I know.
I think I knew that. I've been seeing your posts, but I have to do the collective listener. Your record from 10 years ago that is anniversaries today is called Hunker Down during a pandemic when we're hunkered down. You can't make that stuff up, people.
It's crazy. It's written.
Tell me the link so there's some people that are listening live right now so they can show up tonight. For those that are listening to the podcast episode later, where do we want to send people in general to find out, to listen and consume all of the things, and tell us what that is?
All right. So I just text you a little something there in the chat. If you want to use that, you can. But in the meantime, that's for tonight's show.
Sure.
I think the place right now that I'm most active, and I think it's is at Caldwell Music on Instagram. That's the other little known virtual playground out there that's not Amplify.
So
Yeah.
if we're going to go to Instagram, I'm typing it into the chat box here. Instagram.com, and the hashtag is what? Or the
Colwell Music.
Colwell Music.
Colwell Music.
So we're going to Instagram, and that's how we're going to find out about all the things happening. So what are all the things happening? So you've got this 10-year anniversary of this record, and that's happening tonight. Amazing.
Amazing.
What is? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, what else?
Well, tied into that, we did a reissue of the record on a USB that I handcrafted these little like figurines, and I actually brought one here to show you. So these little keytars.
I love the finished product. We had a work day, and you were making. You literally were like baking them.
Baking them, right? And
you were like, I was like, are you making cookies? You're like, no, I'm making USB record. Like, it was amazing.
And every one of them has, depending on, so if you order one on the Colwell Bandcamp site, you get your own customized, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to try an angle, there we go. There's an SG in the back, CSG. So it's Model C, which is Colwell-SG. This is for one of our super fans, Susan Gross, who's getting this. So you order it, it comes loaded with the record, but also all the songs that inspired the record that we never released. These were demos and outtakes. So that's on there.
Whoa.
My girlfriend Jess, who you guys know, and who everyone's getting to know, did some great editing work, and she put together a making of one of our videos that was made. Luckily, we had a ton of B-roll from the video.
Yeah.
So she did a making of. So that's all on this thing.
That is so exciting. So can they get to the Bandcamp through your Instagram link?
Yes.
Amazing.
And that's why on Instagram, thanks to Linktree, like it's so great. It's just so streamlined. All the listing, all the things that I have going on right now are on Instagram. You can find it in my bio.
You can always say link in bio, and you don't have to keep going to your bio and changing it per link. Like people can go back and find something. And then, yeah, we love Linktree and Amplify. I use it too. tr.ee, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great way to put a couple links, but then have it all be just one link that you can put in your bios for all of your social media sites, not just Instagram, but Instagram is the place. So, okay. I love this so much. This is so exciting. So I as you heard, Jeb, I like to send our listeners away with some clear marching orders.
Okay.
So the marching orders for Harriet, just a reminder that we're all going to harrietreynoldsmusic.com and we're buying a piece of merch. We are. That's what's happening. And now for our listeners that are going to become amazing fans, we're just like working. It's like going to the gym. We are practicing. We are working the bicep, and that bicep muscle is actually called being a great fan of music, whether we're a musician or not. Right? Because when we're great fans as musicians, we're teaching other people how to be great fans just by example. So we're going to go to Instagram.com/Colwell Music, or just go at Colwell, COLWELL Music. And first of all, we're going to follow, obviously. And then we're going to click that link there, and we're going to go to Bandcamp. And we're going to get one of those USB. They're really cool, you guys. So everyone's going to go to and of course, if you are a musician, you have a third assignment for today's session. You're going to go to inthekey.co/amplify to get on the wait list and or sign up, depending on when you're listening to this.
Yes.
Am I doing this the right way? Is this angled toward you?
It's more Harriet. Harriet's in the middle for me.
If I go that way, yeah.
It's very backwards. We're all trying to we're in a threesome. So the two of you are just like two of my favorite human beings on the planet. And I was so happy to see that you could get together in one screen with me. So thank you for sharing your time and sharing your wins and your positivity. And hopefully this showed some other musicians what's possible, even during a pandemic, and plugging through and new ideas. And you're just really doing great stuff, both of you. And I'm so appreciative and grateful for you both.
Oh,
I love you both.
Thank you. Love you too.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Have a wonderful rest of the day, you guys.
All right. You too.